know I'm a little late to the Oscars videos, my picks versus the Oscar picks videos, but I was gonna finish off the documentaries and everything this week, which I did end up doing. But I had a much more grand feeling video for this type of video. If you know my channel, I don't really edit a lot, but I was putting in a lot of work for this video, and unfortunately, because of how sick I got recently, I wasn't able to even finish half of it. I was planning on doing most of it Monday, Tuesday, and then finishing up the editing Wednesday with the recording. Unfortunately, I just have been sick as hell, and I'm still pretty sick if you can't tell by my voice. So, I might show like um, one of my templates here I was doing. And I was gonna have each, movie pop in one at a time and then put my prediction and the Oscars predictions, but unfortunately life happens and, stuff gets in the way like really shitty illnesses. So I do have my list still, so I can accurately tell you my predictions and the Oscars predictions. And I'll even do some editing for this video. You'll see the two pictures of my predictions right here. But let's just head right into this. For actor in a leading role, my pick for this is Ethan Hawke. For me personally, I think he had the best performance. I need to pull this up. I actually don't see it. I think he had the best performance out of all of these guys by a mile, in my opinion. He really makes Blue Moon and absolutely kills his role in it. But honestly, despite all the controversy recently, I do think Timothée Chalamet will steal this this pick. I think the Academy really wants him to win, and people can say whatever they want. Uh, some person deserves this better, some person acted way better, but at the end of the day, a lot of this comes down to who the Academy wants and doesn't want to win. And I think they want Timmy to have, a really early career actor in a leading role win. I think it's going to happen, and I think it's going to happen here. Marty Supreme was a huge movie. It being A24's biggest movie ever also really helps him win this role, and a lot of it was because of him. A lot of these small things that happen, like him doing the marketing and all this, they fly into this. It's not really just performances. As much as we want to believe Ethan Hawke's performance could beat, everyone else in this category. I really doubt it. Now, do I think Michael B. Jordan could sneak in here and win this? Yeah, but I still do think Timothée Chalamet is the clear winner here. Even though I wouldn't have him winning, I believe he was my second place. So, it's believable, but I do think the Academy is just going to give this to him as a thing to make history. They want him to win early. They don't want to screw him over like they did Leo, in my opinion, and I think that's what's going to happen. It's going to come down to that. Actor in a supporting role. Sorry, I don't know how I'm going to be doing this. Oh, here we go. I have Stellan Skarsgård, personally, and I think the Academy does too. I think, there's so many great choices here. I do think Jacob Elordi's the weakest, but I don't know who else they'd pick besides Stellan. Personally, I think Benicio del Toro didn't have as big as a role as all these other guys. Jacob Elordi, I just don't think they're gonna pick Frankenstein to win a supporting role, a nomination. Delroy Lindo, I think he was great. I had him at third. Same thing with him and Benicio. I just don't think he was in it enough, and I don't think they're gonna give it to him. Then Sean Penn just being probably one of the greatest antagonists of last year. I had him at second, but I think Stellan easily steals this. Every time he pops up on screen in Sentimental Value, he completely steals the show, and to be honest, a lot of people think it's his movie. So I think he easily steals this. He was brilliant in it, and I mean, he's just a fabulous actor, so I think he has this very, very easily. For actress in a leading role, honestly, I don't think this one was even close. To be honest, I think this was so easy. Jessie Buckley, and anyone who has anyone besides Jessie Buckley, I'm kind of surprised, and I'd like to know your reasoning. I have Jessie Buckley winning myself, and I have the Academy winning picking Jessie Buckley to win this. She is so clear and ahead of everyone else. She's a phenomenal actress, and while I do think Renee and even Rose were fantastic. I think Jessie Buckley was so far and beyond ahead of everyone else. I don't know why Kate Hudson's even in here, to be honest. I don't even think she should have been nominated, in my opinion. And Emma Stone, while I did like her a lot in Begonia, she's just not close to Jessie. I think Jessie was just so fantastic this year, and she's going to absolutely, she's this would be a sweep. If they had like the votes public, it would be Jessie Buckley 1,000,000% for first place votes, and that would be it. This one's another one that I don't even think is close. And down the list, I think I have a couple more that are like that, but Jessie Buckley's easily one of the biggest sweeps I think in this Oscars this year. As for actress in a lead in a supporting role, I think this one's slightly open, but I do have Amy Madigan for my predictions. I don't think she's going to win for the Oscars. I think Teyana Taylor's going to take it for the Oscars. She was fantastic in one battle after another. My only problem with her was that she just wasn't in it enough. I wish she was in it way, way more than she actually was. I even have another hot take. She's not even the best supporting actress in the movie. But I understand. Teyana Taylor was fantastic in the movie, especially for the first act and a half. She really is a huge part of stealing the show. And I just think, I'm going to say this take later, but One Battle After Another, I think, is going to have a lot of wins this year. And it's going to start off with Teyana Taylor winning actress in a supporting role. I think she absolutely kills it. Personally, I have Amy Madigan. Amy Madigan's been doing good, apparently, in a lot of other award shows. Not that I really pay attention to them, so maybe she could sneak it in. But personally, I do have Amy Madigan. And for animated feature film, I think this was a huge year. I honestly think anything could win this, except for Elio, to be honest. I think everything but Elio can win this. For me personally, I have Arco. What the hell is going on? For me personally, I have Arco winning animated film of the year. It was absolutely beautiful. It was just a Western version of, every other amazing. Jesus, sorry. Oh my god. I think Arco is just fantastic. It's beautiful. The story is very cute, very simple. I don't think it's going to win, sadly. I do think Arco is just phenomenal. It was just so pretty, so colorful. You can't go wrong with that type of art style. For me personally, it's always just going to be one of the better visually appealing movies every single year. We're going to keep getting them. Boy and the Heron, Spirited Away, Kiki's Delivery Service. They're always going to be nominated highly because of how beautiful they are. And Arco follows suit. And even though I do have Arco winning, I was kind of I wasn't really sure what to pick here for the Academy. I really want to do Zootopia 2. I think Zootopia 2 is phenomenal, but I don't think it's going to win. I think K-Pop Demon Hunters was just way too big of a movie this year, or sorry, last year. And with how great Sony's animation has been and art style has been for their movies, K-Pop Demon Hunter, follows suit pretty damn closely. And it was one of the most popular movies of last year. And I do think K-Pop Demon Hunters is going to win just because of that alone. The art style definitely helps it. I think Arco should win personally, but even though K-Pop Demon Hunters is my least favorite out of these five, I do think the Academy is gonna pick it. It just seems like a layup. I don't think it's gonna be like far and ahead, but I think K-Pop Demon Hunters is winning this one. For animated short film, there was a problem with this, and it seems to be a problem every year for me. I wasn't able to watch every short film. Oh no, actually this year for animation I was. It was for other short films I wasn't able to watch all of them. I do think most of these I think all of these are actually really good. I don't think there's a single bad animated short film, which I'm kind of surprised. A lot of my problems with short films are it just comes, most of them are just really sappy, really sad. And it's the same thing this year for every type of short film, which is so unfortunate. But I will, honestly, I have to take Retirement Plan. If you're gonna make a sad one, make it the best sad one out of all of them. And I think Retirement Plan, it just really hurts watching. That one really, really hurt watching. Do I think it's gonna win? No, I think Butterfly is gonna win. Butterfly was very gorgeous. It just seems more open to everybody, and I don't know. I really love Retirement Plan, and I would love it to win. And I think a lot of people love Retirement Plan, but Butterfly was just so beautiful visually, and even the sound of that movie or the short film was just so fucking fantastic. I'd be surprised if the Academy doesn't pick Butterfly, honestly. For casting, if you saw my video of the Oscars announcing this, I was kind of surprised there weren't certain other movies in the casting category, but it's okay. I have Sinners winning the casting one. I just think everyone was picked perfectly. This is a new category, so I really don't know what they're doing here, how they're gonna pick, who they're gonna pick, but this is where my take starts. I think OBAA, or One Battle After Another, will sweep the Oscars. I think it'll win almost every single category it's nominated for. Like I said earlier with Tiana Taylor, I think she's gonna win. And honestly, this is gonna be a really fast video because any category that has One Battle After Another, I think is just gonna win. I don't know why, in my head, something's going on. Maybe they think this might be Leo's last chance to keep winning Oscars. They might think this is PTA's last chance to keep winning Oscars. I think they're gonna. I think One Battle After Another is just gonna sweep. And as much as I love Sinners to be a part of this Oscars, I really think it's gonna be robbed in a lot of these. And I have Sinners personally being the best casting, but I think One Battle After Another will win. You have Leo, Sean Penn, Tiana Taylor, Benicio del Toro, like it's just such a stat cast. I'd be surprised if it wasn't picked, on that alone. But Sinners was really, really good. I'm not sure. Maybe some way, somehow, Sinners can sneak this, but I really doubt it, unfortunately. For cinematography, I think this one is very close, to be honest. And, ooh, this was one of them where I didn't have OBA winning for the Oscars. Personally, for me, I have Train Dreams winning. It was just so shot beautifully, edited amazingly. I know it's not part of this category, but I mean, Train Dreams to me was absolutely stunning. I mean, it just looked like you were looking at a beautiful painting, every single shot, every single scene. It was unbelievable. For the Oscars, I think Sinners is going to win. Surprisingly, I don't have One Battle After Another winning this. Though, like I said, even though I do think the Oscars are going to pick Sinners here, I wouldn't be surprised if OBA wins. Honestly, I think OBA might sweep. And if Sinners doesn't win for the Oscars here, I'd be pretty damn shocked. I think a lot of the opening shots are the opening shots of this movie, especially towards a lot of the second act. I think this movie can steal the cinematography category on that alone. But man, I feel like OBA is just so consistent throughout, and it doesn't have the peaks of Sinners, but maybe its consistency can win it over Sinners for the Oscars. I'm not too certain. Costume design, another layup for me personally. I think the I think me and the Oscars agree on this one. It's gonna be Hamnet. It's not even gonna be close. Hamnet's gonna win this by a long shot. Um, what is this? Oh, okay, that's right. I think Hamnet's gonna win this by a long shot. If there was a sneaky second, maybe Frankenstein. I think Frankenstein. I really love Frankenstein's costume design, but after rewatching Hamnet, I'd be really shocked if it does not win costume design. The costumes are absolutely incredible, and while I do love in Frankenstein how um, the bride's dress transforms throughout the movie and her outfit transforms throughout the movie, that is just one character. And while I do think a lot of other characters in the movie have fantastic costume design, Hamnet is just so consistent throughout the entire cast having amazing costumes. So that's why I have Hamnet winning for me and the Oscars. Directing, I mean, for me, it centers for the Oscars. I think they're picking OBAA. Not much I'm gonna get into here. I think Ryan Coogler was fantastic here, but I think they really want to give PTA his flowers now, and that's honestly my only reasoning. I think there's a lot of politics that go into the Oscars, and I think PTA will get his Oscar here, just in case they don't think he's going to get one in the future. Ryan Coogler has such a long future ahead of him. We don't know how long PTA is going to be directing for after One Battle After Another. It might be two, three movies. Ryan Coogler has so many years, decades ahead of him where he can keep winning, and I think that's why PTA wins here, unfortunately. For documentary feature film, I think me and the Academy agrees. I think it's gonna be The Perfect Neighbor. I don't even think it's close. It's a really good narrative for the Oscars. It's gonna push Netflix a lot more. And if there was one to sneak in, Mr. Nobody Against Putin could definitely be in there, but honestly, I think The Perfect Neighbor was the talk of the town all year for documentaries, documentary feature films, and this one's not even close. It's gonna be The Perfect Neighbor. Like I said, Mr. Nobody Against Putin can do it, but no, it's gonna be The Perfect Neighbor for me and the Oscars. And for documentary, does this look good? It does look good. Great. For documentary short film, which I think I wasn't able to catch Children No More, unfortunately. I looked everywhere for it. I mean, I looked everywhere for months, like since the Oscars, even before the Oscars were even announced, I was looking for Children No More. Nowhere to be found. I tried everything, every website, every YouTube page, every Reddit thread, every tweet, everything. Letterbox links, nothing worked. So that one, I have no discussion in, unfortunately. I do have Perfectly a Strangeness winning for me personally. Uh, though I think it would be very shocking if the Oscars don't pick Armed Only with a Camera. That is one of the most important documentary short films of our time, and especially of the 2020s alone. That is maybe one of the most important, if not the most important, documentary short film, and I think they have to honor him, and this is going to be their way of doing that. They're going to give him that post posthumous, yes, uh, Oscar win. He really deserves it. He was a fantastic journalist, and I just think the Oscars are going to do it just for that alone, which is maybe a little unfortunate. I did enjoy Armed with Only a Camera. I wish it was edited a little better, a lot of better storytelling. I just think Perfectly Strangers was perfect in my opinion, or damn near perfect. So that's why I have it personally winning. But for narrative reasons, I think Armed with a Camera will win this easily, like very very easily. I'd be surprised if it doesn't. For film editing, me and the Academy are going to agree on this. I think it'll be OBAA. And while I do think OBA will just sweep, the editing of OBAA was honestly phenomenal in editing, and it deserves this win. I do think Marty Supreme and Sinners can win this category, and while I do think other movies should have been nominated here over F1 and over Sentimental Value, I don't think anything was going to be OBAA. If something does, I'd be a little bit shocked. Maybe there was like a last second like Sinners switch up and they want Sinners to win everything. But I really think OBA will win this. I think this easily was the best edited film, one of the best edited films this year. There's one in here that's not mentioned. I won't go into that. I think I mentioned it in my Oscars announcement video, so we won't get into that now. International feature film. Do I have it written down? Yes, I do. I think this is going to be a close one between Sentimental Value and Secret Agent. I have Sentimental Value winning. The Academy is going to have Sentimental Value winning. I don't think it's very close. Um, I take back what I said. I don't think Secret Agent will actually even be close to winning. I'd be surprised if it is. Secret Agent was phenomenal. It was one of the best movies last year, easily, no doubt. But I don't think it's going to beat Sentimental Value. You have such great casting in this movie, amazing cinematography. I mean, there's just no bad things about Sentimental Value. I really think it's just going to win easily. Sarat was a really cool pick. There's obviously a film in here that I'm not going to talk about that should have been nominated, but yeah, what happens? Sarat was very great. It was just an accident. It was really fun. In the voice of Heinrich Job, I don't think it's going to even come close to winning. I don't even know why that was nominated. It's just so weird to me that that got nominated over something else. But Sentimental Value will win here. I mean, it's getting nominated for every other category. It should win this. It should win this very, very easily. I'd be very shocked. And for live action short film, was I able to watch all these? Yes, I was actually able to watch all of these. I think me and the Academy agree on this one as well. Um, this is going to be two people exchanging saliva. It's not even close. I think all of these were very great. And I'm kind of sick and tired of Jane Austen short films and movies, period. I'm just over them. I'm really, really over them. So that was my least favorite of this category, but Two People Exchanging Salivas, so easily the most popular one, so easily the best one made here. And while I did sort of enjoy Butcher, Stain, and Singers, they don't come close to Two People Exchanging Saliva, even though it has easily the weirdest name out of anything in the entire Oscars nominated this year, it is the best live action short film nominated this year. For makeup and hairstyling, honestly, this was a toss up. I didn't expect Kakuho to be even nominated here. And I really want it to win. I have it at second place. Honestly, I have Kakuho at second place, and while I do think it can sneak in a win here, um, me and the Academy, I think, will agree on this. I think it'll be Frankenstein. Jacob Elordi looks fantastic. I mean, everybody looks fantastic in that movie, and I think that this category will come down to Jacob Elordi, and I think he will be the push as to why Frankenstein wins. Honestly, I don't even think it. I think he'll be the reason it pushes it to a clear first place. And well, I do really enjoyed Kakuho, its makeup and hairstyling. I don't think it's going to get its recognition with a win, which is unfortunate. But I really would love to pick it. The Ugly Stepsister here getting a nomination was great. I had it at third. I fucking loved everything in that movie, costume design and makeup wise. And I was really happy a horror movie got nominated here. And Sinners, I think, is up there. I have it at fourth, and I think it could be switched with Ugly Stepsister, but I don't think it could win. And Smashing Machine, I'm surprised it was even nominated. Honestly, that's it. And for music original score, if you see my Begonia review, I have Begonia. I have Begonia winning this. I think it is easily the best score of last year. Um, though I don't think the Academy will agree. And this is another category where I don't think OBAA sneaks a win here. I think Sinners will take this. Sinners, just being such a music-based film, is going to have its wins in both these music categories, which I'll get to next. But its score was phenomenal. And I think this movie being so music-oriented and based, I think it'll let Sinners take the win here. Though, like I said, every time I don't have OBA winning a category here, don't be surprised if it does end up winning. I think a lot of bullshit's going to go on with this movie, and it's going to sneak in and rob a lot of categories. And for music original song, there's 4 good songs here. And honestly, if I Lie to You doesn't win, I'd be shocked. It is easily the best song of last year. It is the best. The Oscars are gonna pick it. It's gonna have its own performance there as well. So if I Lie to You get its own performance and doesn't win, that'd be really disappointing. I don't think Golden should win. I don't think Sweet Dreams of Joy will win. I don't think Train Dreams will win, and I don't even think Dear Me should have been nominated personally. The other 4 are just so much better than it, and I Lie to You is so clearly the best song of last year. And if that song was not in fucking Sinners, or if it was a different song in Sinners that wasn't I Lie to You, Sinners would be so much worse than how great the movie is currently, which is crazy to say, but that song is unbelievable and makes the scene what it is. And I think that is one of the most important parts of a original song in the music category. Now for Best Picture, is this the last one? I was gonna say that's quick. Okay. Can I get all these in here? No. Okay. For Best Picture, I have Sinners winning. It was my favorite movie out of all these. That's how I picked Best Picture. But like I said, I think OBAA will win this year. I think the only 2 that can win are Sinners and OBAA. I'd be shocked if anything else wins here. I don't think Marty Supreme will win. Definitely not Hammett. Definitely not F1. Definitely not Begonia. Definitely not Frankenstein. Definitely not Secret Agent. I honestly think the only 3 that can win are OBAA in order. OBAA, Sinners, Sentimental Value, and then maybe Train Dreams. Really not sure. But yeah, it's going to be OBAA. Personally, I have Sinners. I would love Sinners to win, but I think the Oscars are going to pick OBAA to win this one. Production design. Oh, this one was a toss-up for me. Hmm. I'm gonna pick Frankenstein. I have Frankenstein winning this category. I do think, for me personally, Sinners or OBAA could win this one, and definitely Hamnet could win this one as well. I don't think Marty Supreme can, but I have Frankenstein personally as best production design of last year. Maybe Hamnet second. I'm not really sure. That second place is a toss up, but I think I have Frankenstein personally a production design. And you guessed it, I think OBAA is picked by the Oscars. I know this is a crazy bullshit thing to say, but um, I think OBAA is going to win this one. I think anything can win this for the Oscars choice, but I think it'll be OBAA. Personally, I'd love Frankenstein to win this or Hamnet, but I doubt it. I really doubt it. And for sound, great. Okay, nice. For sound, I have F1 winning, and I think the Oscars going to have F1 winning. This is a very close one, and while I do think OBAA can win this, and I think Seurat can win this, I think it'll be F1. It really deserves to win this category. Every time you watch F1, I've watched it twice, and both times we're in theaters, and in Dolby. It is unbelievable. Sitting through that movie is such an experience, and a lot of it comes down to his sound work and design. It's unbelievable. And if it's not F1, I'd be a little sad. I'd be a little sad, but I wouldn't be surprised if one of those two bigger movies win. I honestly hope it's a toss-up between F1 and Seurat. I don't think it will be, but those two would be those are my two personal favorites for sound design. And you know me, I'm a huge sound person in movies. I really enjoyed it in F1, and I'd be really, really disappointed if it doesn't win, or if the Oscars don't pick it, because I do think the Oscars are going to pick it, but you never know with the Oscars. It could be anything. So, for visual effects, I also have F1 winning this one. This movie looks phenomenal, and a lot of it comes down to the visual effects. I don't think cinematography-wise, F1 is the best thing ever, but its visual effects are phenomenal, amazing, gorgeous. I don't think the Oscar's going to pick it, though. It's going to be Avatar every single year. You could have had, like, the best visual effects movies of all time up against Avatar. Unfortunately, I think Avatar's getting its dick sucked too much, and it's just going to win it because of that. I don't know why Jurassic World was in this. I don't know why The Lost Bus was in this personally. I don't know why Sinners was in this personally either. But I think this was a really bad dominated category this year. I have F1 winning personally. I think the Oscars are going to pick Avatar. At any time there's going to be an Avatar movie in the Oscar category for visual effects, it's just going to win it off of that alone, which is unfortunate because I honestly didn't think Avatar looked as great as the previous two. That's just my opinion. I thought there were so many problems with me visually. If you saw my review on Avatar, you would know I had a huge problem visually with this movie, which I was so upset about because the one thing I look forward to in James Cameron movies is how great they look. And I don't think Avatar really impressed me, but I think it's going to impress the Academy. So, we'll see what happens there. But I do think Avatar's going to steal that one. Is there these last two? Oh, wow. That's quick. For writing adapted screenplay, it's going to be OBAA. For both these writing categories, I'll just put them both up on screen, right? It's going to be OBAA, and it's going to be Sinners. Those are the two biggest Oscar winners this year. They're the two biggest movies for the Oscars this year. If they both don't win this category, I'd be really, 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 really surprised. Personally, I have Blue Moon as my winner for original screenplay. I was gassing that movie up so much. I do love Sinners a lot more than Blue Moon, but I think the writing in Blue Moon is just so fucking phenomenal and unbelievable. There's gotta be a difference between writing and better movie, and I think most of the time, better movie just wins the writing categories anyway, unfortunately. And while I do think Sinner is a better movie, and I think the Oscars are gonna pick Sinners for original screenplay, I have Blue Moon personally, and for adapted screenplay, I have OBAA, and I think it's gonna be OBAA. If you agree with me on or disagree with me on any of these Oscar categories, let me know in the comments below. You know, I had a really rough time with this. I really wanted this to be a lot bigger video, a lot edited. This is going to be a lot more rushed. This is the Saturday before the Oscars actually are hosted, which is very, very sad because I want this to be one of my bigger videos, but couldn't end up doing it just because of one sickness. So if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe, comment below. Please let me know your thoughts on my picks versus the Oscar picks. I'd love to know. I hope I'm gonna be able to put all the timestamps correctly for all these categories. I know I zoomed through a lot of these, but like I said, I think a lot of these are pre chosen before the Oscars even, before even the voters even watch these movies. I don't think I think that rule change is not going to do much. So, we'll see. Hopefully you guys enjoy the Oscars this year. I'm gonna try to. I don't really like watching the Oscars, but I'm gonna try to watch them this year and hopefully be able to enjoy it because I think it's just gonna be a sweep with Sinners and OPAA for almost every category. But we'll see.